dating nightmares this time, we have roommate nightmares. I don't know what's worse.
I found out that a random man was living in my apartment. Story time. So I was living with my best friend, who we will call Amy. We were roommates for about 2 years. Everything was good. We were those annoying besties that would do everything together. We had matching pajamas. And all of a sudden, Amy started acting weird. She'd go MIA for hours. And when I asked her where she'd been, she'd be like, oh, just nowhere. At first, I thought she was just busy. Then I started to notice the most random things happening in our apartment. One night I came home and there was multiple dirty dishes in the sink, but the dishes weren't ours, they weren't our plates. And another time I went to grab a little Pepsi Max from the fridge and there was food in there that we don't eat.
What?
So one day I was like, Amy, have you seen these things that are happening? Like, do you know anything about it? And she goes, oh, don't worry about that. That's my boyfriend who's just been hanging out a little bit more. A little bit more. Babe, there's an entire man's wardrobe in my hallway closet. I tried to play it cool. Because I know, Amy, we've been best friends for so long. Why would we lie to each other? I figured he was just crashing here sometimes because his place was a bit of a shithole. But then it got worse. I'm hearing footsteps at night. Like, heavy man footsteps. You know that sound that is like your dad coughing in the morning? That would happen at like 3 a.m. And one day, I woke up to find a random man stood in my kitchen. He said he was there because he got confused. Confused? Sir, this is a 2-bedroom flat, not a maze. One day, I decided it is time to confront Amy about this whole situation. I sat her down and I was like, listen, I know your boyfriend's here a lot. Could you just like give me a heads up next time he's gonna be here? And she hit me with,
or give me a heads up that your boyfriend has in fact moved in, brought his clothes, brought his own dishes.
oh, I've actually been meaning to tell you. He's living here now. Is he? No discussion. No discussion about splitting rent. Nothing. At this point, as I'm sure you can imagine, I am fuming. And she just shrugged it off and said to me, well, you're barely here anyway, so why does it matter? It matters, Amy, because funnily enough, I didn't sign up to live with your boyfriend. And then, to top it off, she asks me if I can start buying more groceries because he eats a lot. You'd think that was the final straw, but no. The final straw was, in fact, when I came home one night and found all my stuff from the bathroom in a box in my bedroom. Apparently, Steve needed more space. Oh, you mean my space? Cool. So I packed my stuff and I'm crashing at my sister's house. Amy is blowing up my phone, telling me I'm being dramatic, saying I overreacted. So what do you think I should do here?
Do you guys think she's overreacted? Because I don't think she's overreacted at all. I moved in with my best friend. I did not move in to live with my best friend and her boyfriend. And if that's the case, that should be a discussion.
I lived with an insane person in New York City for 3 months, and this is the full story time. So if you've been invested in my Roommate from Hell series, watch this whole video because I'm answering the most asked questions and I'm not leaving any details out. Let's begin. I started school in fall of 2021 in Manhattan, but I ended up really disliking the program, so I left after the first semester, and I had about a week to find a new place to live before they were going to kick me out of the dorms. I joined a women's housing group on Face Schmook, and that's where I found Sharon in her apartment in Upper Manhattan, which seemed like a dream come true because housing or rent is insane in Manhattan, and this place was going to be $1,100 a month, including utilities, and it had a big kitchen and a laundry room, so I was like, this is really ideal. The apartment seemed luxurious compared to the other options in New York, most of which were shoeboxes with like 4 people shoved in them.
If you missed the text, she was a 56-year-old woman and seemed a little bit uptight at first.
The day after I moved into Sharon's apartment, I flew back to Oregon to visit family, and then right after I got back to New York, I went on a week-long job trial. So I was trialing as a nanny for these billionaires. Seriously, one of the wildest experiences of my life. I was gone most of the first 2 weeks. She loved that because she wanted a roommate who wasn't home. If I was around, she became visibly angry and irritated. I got back from my job trial and decided I was going to break up with my partner. At the time, the relationship was shitty, so I was a little bit depressed, you know? Going to school didn't work out, my relationship didn't work out, it was the dead of winter in New York. I just wanted to be home and watch movies in bed for a couple days. Also just moved, I needed to unpack all my things and get settled, so I just wanted to like chill. Guess who hated that? I felt like I couldn't leave my room because if I did, she would find a reason to yell at me. If there was even a drop of water on the counter, she would like yell at me to come out of my room to point at it. I went on a second job trial a few days later, which is when she went in my room and accused me of defacing the AC and causing a bunch of water damage. This was my final straw with when it came to having a lock on my door. I had wanted to put one on and had even asked if I could, and she said no, that it was a fire hazard because of the fire escape, which didn't make—
It would feel like you're living with your mother almost. Like, no, I'm paying rent. I don't think so.
sense because she had the fire escape attached to her bedroom window. I could tell on other occasions that she had been going in my room. I grew up with a sister, okay? I know if my stuff's been moved around, and she was going in my room. It is 7 a.m. and she's blowing up my phone saying there's all this damage, and I say, can you send me a picture? Can you send me a video? Which she doesn't. She's like, you ripped the AC out, you defaced the AC, which I did not. There's a side panel that slides open, so I slid it open because my room was like 80 degrees in the dead of winter. I say, I will be home in a few hours, please just wait. I will be home soon, can you just leave it? I get home and surprise, surprise, there is no damage. All of my stuff has been moved, and she put some tape over the AC unit, but it is exactly how I left it. There's no damage, she has no proof of damage, she doesn't send me anything. All she says is that
she still went into your room.
Okay. All that morning, and then it cost several $100s and I need to pay for it. Absolutely, I will not. In total, I've spent probably less than a week actually sleeping in the apartment at this point. She starts inventing all these crazy rules, like I'm not allowed to open the blinds because I might break them. I'm not allowed to throw lettuce in the trash can because I'm going to make it stink. I'm not allowed to have phone calls.
That's all in the first week? Oh, hell no. Did you sign a 1-year lease?
In the living room. But just in case I didn't get the hint that she didn't want me in the space, she decided to remove all the TV remotes and other things from the common space. You know how you can hear her stomping in all those move out day videos? Well, she would charge like that down the hallway in the middle of the night. I would wake up and my heart would start racing. I was just so afraid of her. I started sleeping with stuff piled in front of my door and a taser next to me, but I was like, I'm done doing this. I decided to seek out the building manager and was like, hey, I really want to put a lock on my door. Is this allowed? And he said, yes, of course, we'll come install it for you. And I was like, I'll just do it myself because I don't want to have another screaming fight with her. I just wanted to move home to Oregon at that point. I was terrified living there. Going to school didn't work out. My relationship didn't work out. Living in New York and that apartment didn't work out. And I was so miserable and depressed. I just wanted to leave.
So basically this woman didn't even want a roommate. She wanted someone to pay half the bill, but she didn't actually want to have someone move in. Why even seek out a roommate?
So the day I put the lock on my door, we got into this huge screaming fight. I gave her notice on the spot. I was like, I'm done. I've had enough. Like, affects me a little bit. So sorry. I need to take a deep breath. Okay. After I gave her notice, she told me I needed to pay the next month's rent or move out immediately. Simultaneously, while threatening to change the locks on me, she also was begging me not to move out and told me I was her ideal roommate and that she actually loved having me here and I was the best roommate she's ever had. Yes, I have been very respectful of you, but meanwhile, you've been yelling at me every single day if there's a singular hair in the bathroom or a drop of water on the kitchen counter. I kept my family updated on what was going on the entire time. My sister said, hey, I'm going to help you come move out. I'm going to bring extra luggage. I'm going to bring it back to Oregon for your move. On one of Sharon's better days, I told her that my sister was coming to stay and was very respectful about it. I was like, hey, are you cool with this? She was like, yeah, totally. We'll pull the air mattress out. And we agreed to this before I ever moved in, that it was okay if I wanted to have a friend over, sister, partner, etc. But then Sharon decided to invent a no guest policy. If I so much as tried to have my sister step foot in the apartment, she was going to...
It's important we read this. This was all verbal agreement. It was a huge mistake not to put everything in writing. Always get that evidence.
Change the locks and throw me out. This fight about my sister coming went on every single day up until my sister arrived. She removed everything from the apartment. The bar stools, everything in the kitchen, the cookware, the bathroom mats, the shampoo, conditioner, the toilet paper, which I helped pay for, all the cleaning supplies, the carpet, all the throw pillows, any candles, decor. She took the art off the walls, took the nails out, patched the holes over with putty and painted over them. She wouldn't so much as leave any of her toiletries in the bathroom. Like, she took her toothbrush out and I was like, does she think I'm crazy? Does she think that I'm gonna do something to her toothbrush? Like, she's the crazy one. What does she think I'm gonna do? So that made me paranoid. So then I was like, well, I shouldn't leave my toothbrush in the bathroom either, because she's the actual crazy one. So what if she does something to my toothbrush? She wouldn't even leave, like, food in the kitchen. Do you think I'm gonna poison you? Do I need to worry about you poisoning me? She was making me paranoid. She treated me like I was a filthy animal. She covered all of the couches in sheets, the kitchen table in a blanket so that I wouldn't use it. She just covered everything. I don't even think it's going out on a limb to say that this woman is incredibly OCD. Like, I was in the kitchen one day and she would obsessively vacuum and clean, and she vacuumed over my foot. I was standing there making breakfast and she vacuumed over my foot. My sister's visit was a bit of a show. She yelled at my sister and was very nasty to her, and I was like, this is not okay. Like, if you want to treat me like this, fine, I'll put up with it, but I'm not subjecting my sister to this at all. We would get up early, make breakfast, leave the apartment, hang out, check out some places in New York, come back. She helped me pack a bunch of shit to take back to Oregon and was on her way. 1 week later was my official move out day, which is the footage I've been sharing with you guys this week. My friend Jalen, who I went to school with, came to help me ship a couple boxes and also to be a witness to the whole situation, because I knew that Sharon would be 10 times as bad as she was in those videos had I not had another person there to kind of diffuse it. If you think she's crazy in those videos, You have no idea. You have no idea.
Oh my God. We have totally reacted to one of Sharon's videos. This is all making so much sense. We have seen this. Oh my God, this is her. This is her. I've seen the videos of Sharon, like yelling about stuff on her move out date. She goes, oh my God, we've seen it. We've seen it. Now we're getting the full story. If you know, you know.
Oh yeah, and she did not have my security deposit. No, not for a second. She did not have that $500. She goes on saying, no, I don't have Zelle anymore. I can't sell it to you. She wanted to scam me with a cashier's check. She wanted to say, oh, I'll give it to you after you move out. You need to leave the building. Yeah, like you're gonna slam the door in my face. Absolutely not. She kept calling her brother from Midtown and begging him to come. And I was like, I need to get out of here because if he's half as crazy as she is, I was this close to calling the police so many times. It took a lot of time and a lot of fighting, but I did get my security deposit back, and I'm out of time with this video, but I am going to make a part 2 because there are more parts of this story that I want to share with you guys. So go check that out and follow for more content from my life. Okay, bye guys.
I could never deal with that energy. Even if you're in a good place and you didn't just go through a breakup and losing your job and things like that, I still could not handle that. The amount of anxiety I would feel in that environment every day. I need a sip of water after that one. We're hopping on hydration station. I got lemon water today. I put some lemon slices in here. Let me know what you're drinking. Cheers.
What's your worst roommate experience? I'll go first. So this goes back to 2017 when I was doing my first year, right? So I did my first year TT social. I was doing IT, right? Fine. So I had a roommate. I never used to stay on campus because I was never a fan of my on-campus residence as a social. So I had a roommate. We lived together, go back room. So how we actually got to live together is that our parents were looking for a place for both of us, right? But they met each other like because it was a back room. So they met each other I was busy with my registration.
I don't know what was just said in that sentence, but I think I get the gist.
And then the girl, I'm not sure what she was busy with, but we were not aware. We only got to meet each other when we were actually moving in, right? Sharp. So fast forward to when we were now living together. So we actually stayed together for a very short period, for like 4 months. Then she got a space, a campus in, and then she moved. I was so happy. But that's not the point. That's not the point.
She is so fun.
So Shabu, we're now living together, ne? This one thing stood out to me because she did it each and every month without fail. I would literally complain, but she'd apologize and do it again. And do it again. And do it again until she left. Guys. So fine, let me get straight to it. So this girl, what she used to do is that, you know, as women, every month we get our monthlies, right? Okay, for people who are not a fan of women talking about their periods and stuff, please just leave the chat right now because it'll be a bit TMI.
You heard her warning. Shoo, if this is not for you.
A bit of TMI, but I have to share my experience. So Shapu, when she gets her monthlies, baby girl would literally change her pad and not use like any like plastic or whatever to go like throw it in the trash can or whatnot. She would literally wrap it with the same plastic in which she took out like the pad. You know, that small plastic that comes with,
I got what you're saying.
Comes with the whole pack like of 8 or 9 or whatever. But the one that like the individual packs, those ones, I hope I'm making sense. She would wrap it in that and then put it under her bed for the duration of her period. So her periods used to last a good 5-6 days. Yeah. And for that 6 days or 5 days, her pets will literally be camping underneath her bed. She never used to open the windows. She was always in Lini. I was always on campus. She used to do a foundation, so she'd go to campus around 8, come back around 2. I used to go to campus around 7:30, come back around 5, 6. Windows closed. You can imagine the smell.
Nothing could have prepared me for that, truly. I feel a little bit nauseous. I truly do. Oh, I have so many questions. I mean, the main one being, why? What is the reasoning for that? There can't be any valid reason for that. Absolutely not. Oh, I feel sick.
Get ready with me while I tell you the story about the worst roommate that I ever had in uni. So this was my second roommate, and it was when I was in year 1. Even from the start, it was very obvious to me that we were not going to get along at all. So the first thing that annoyed me about her was that I had just gotten a fridge, and I asked her if she wanted to split it with me because I literally had just gotten the fridge. So obviously if she wanted to use it, it would make sense for us to split the fridge. So I told her it was $90, and then she said, oh, that's too expensive and she can find a cheaper one. So I was like, okay, you know, suit yourself. If you want to get your own fridge, that's fine. But then I realized that she was secretly using my fridge after she refused to split it with me. And she could do that because she was in the room like all the time, whereas I wasn't. So she had a lot of opportunities to keep things in the fridge and then take them out right before I came. I knew she was using it because of a variety of different reasons. I'm not gonna get into it, but like sometimes her food would be out on the table and it was clearly cold. Like it clearly came out of the fridge. And I think there were 2 other times I opened the fridge and then her things were inside. So it's like I knew she was using it, she just didn't want to pay for it. And another thing I realized as time passed by was that she was just really messy and kind of dirty, so I really did not like her living habits. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but like the things that she would do was seriously unhygienic. Her dirty clothes were like all over the floor and on the table, and she would also keep food open for like long periods of time. And one thing I remember very vividly is walking into this scene. Okay, so her toothbrush was like lying face down on the table, literally touching the table, beside a bottle of open soya sauce, beside like a box of like fermented soybeans or mushroom. Like her table was full of crap. It was just so disgusting to look at because it just didn't make sense. I don't even know how she studied. Oh yeah, another thing, she barely...
Some people like to live a little messier, and that is on you. I'm not gonna... To each their own. How you want to live your life is truly none of my business. However, I would struggle with living with someone like that, for sure. I can't handle that stuff. Food being left out for long periods of time, like dirty... I like a clean space. And I'm not saying like I'm never messy, let's be honest, we're all human, but... Ooh, no. I'm like Monica Geller. If you know, you know.
Not just health department clean, Monica clean.
So she was always in the room, and I felt like I didn't even have like my time alone in the room because she was just always there. She was also extremely inconsiderate whenever I was in the room. So I just feel like it's like a basic courtesy to use AirPods or like earpieces when you're on a call and someone else is in the room and they could be studying or something, because why do I need to hear like your entire conversation? She was always on call with like a group of people. It wasn't just one person, it was like a group call with like maybe 3 or 4 people in it, and she would always put it on speaker, and I would literally ask her like a few times like, could you please put on your AirPods? And when I said it, she'd be like, oh sorry, and then she'd put it on. But the next day she would just do the same thing again and blast it on speaker. So yeah, I don't get it. She literally just did not care. It got so bad to the point that I would avoid going to my room. Like I would study in the study room, or I would go to my friend's room to study, and I would just refuse to come back to my room until I knew that she had slept. But yeah, it was really, really bad. I was just so unhappy, and I complained to my hall about her like once or twice I think, and I said, you know, I really can't concentrate, I can't study, and this is affecting my mental health. Then they offered me another room, and I was about to take up the offer when that same night my roommate kind of mentioned how she needed to go and get a work pass or something, and then I was like, oh why? And then she told me that she's graduating in December, so I was like, oh thank God. It is just really hard to live someone when your living habits do not match at all. I took away some interesting things from the experience for sure.
Having a bad roommate when you're in, let's say, an apartment where you each have your own bedroom and then a shared space is one thing, but having a bad roommate in a dorm when it's literally you share one room with 2 single oh, that's a nightmare. For me, that's literally a nightmare. I would rather sleep in my car.
Hey, Makia.
Get out of my room.
Makia.
Huh? Get out. Get out. It's my room. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out.
Shut up. The time my roommate was stealing my stuff. And then she hits you with the, huh? Like, where's the confusion? Are you confused that I have a hidden camera in here and you didn't know about it? What do you need explanation on with the, huh?
So basically, we're giving a story
Did you do a 10-minute one?
Yeah, I did 10-minute. Basically, do you want to start the story? Because
Yes.
it does not start with me, it starts with her.
Yeah, this was not even her, like, this was on her story until the end.
Yeah. Okay, so Izzy's gonna start this, like, story and stuff.
So this is a story about Lainey's psychopath roommate.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, we were at a frat, And she was doing some questionable things, I will say, because I'm not going to give, like...
And I was DDing that night.
Yeah, I'm not going to give, like, detail, just in case, because this is going to court, so...
Yeah, because I'm probably going to have to press charges.
So, anyways, she was just doing some stuff that I did not like, that she was doing to my friends. And so... I said something about it, and she went out the fucking rocker, went psycho, saying that she was gonna rip my lips off and all that. I was like, I'm not scared of you, but okay.
And, like, I showed, like, the pictures to her so she could send it to her mom originally because she thought it was funny at first. Because, like, my roommate was saying the things to me. And then, the whole writing on the door thing, I think...
No, I didn't get there. You're ruining the story.
Oh, yeah.
Then this bitch wrote on my door, Izzy's a pussy sucker. And I was like, seriously? That's the best you got? Could at least call me...
Yeah, and basically with the door writing and stuff like that, when we realized that...
So turns out, there's probably going to be a lot of bleeping in this video due to the amount of curse words we're saying, ladies.
She could have, like, Izzy could have to pay for that and stuff. That's when we brought the RAs involved, and that's when she showed, like, the text messages.
So then,
and stuff.
I saw the text messages and shit like that. So she came in my room because we were trying to, like, figure this out like adults. Which what we are. This is ridiculous.
Yes, we're in college, freshmen.
And she fucking came into my room and all started like screaming at my ass, and I literally humbled the out of that. Like, she was just gaslighting the out of the whole situation.
And I literally have been warning people for months that she's an incredible liar, like, to be expecting.
And I was literally just dropping like fucking facts at them. So then that happened, and I was like, okay, like, if you're gonna act like a fucking child, then get the out of my room. And then she found out that we went to the RAs because I wanted to have a report down just in case we did get into a fight. Or I was gonna take that to motherfucking court. I was about to sue that.
And an RA spoke to her. I'm not sure if it was in person or on email.
I'm just like too old for this version, like this way of telling a story. There is no judgment on these girls. It reminds me of when I was younger and how I would be like telling a story and stuff. It's funny, but I just feel so old listening to it.
But they said something to her, and about 10 minutes later she came back and she was
outside my door acting like a fucking psychopath.
We have videos.
Hold on, pause
like
that. I'm gonna go show the video.
Now we're silent once again. I know you wasn't.
Let's just get ahead. I'm sure I'm going psycho.
Let's talk about it. You was the one who made this situation bigger. You told everybody. Kimber, that's the R. Oh, okay, so get up and talk.
Kimber, I do not want to...
Kimber. Let me hear my name again. Let me hear my...
Kimber.
Timbuktu all the way back to...
Okay, I'm not doing this. Please, Simone, shut my door.
Shut the door. I'm gonna keep talking even with the door shut. What's up? Suck it, swallow it, digest it, and everything that I just said. Everything that you're saying. Keep my name out of your mouth.
So
basically, she was
she just went f***ing psycho. And then when she came back, she called me out of the room and like started yelling at me and stuff like that. And I'm like, because I like when situations like that, I tend to like blank and stuff. So I sort of just did not remember anything, and she got mad at me. And then she said something like really rude to you, and like, I mean, that made like everybody laugh. But then I admit I did laugh, and then I came back.
I was laughing because I think she sounded like a child.
Yeah, she sounded like a child. So when I came back, I started like saying to her and stuff like that, how she needs to go. She's embarrassing herself. Like, there's videos of me like talking to her, saying like, you're harassing my friend. And stuff. She's like, I'm not harassing her, and I'm like, yes, you are. You're sitting outside her door, dancing and spinning around like a fucking child, like that, like, and screaming at her to come out and talk to you. Like, no.
This seems like elementary school drama, not even college.
Like I said
what are we even fighting over?
She said something about like how I don't care what anybody here thinks, and I'm like, then why the f do you care what Izzy thinks? And then she after that started to threaten to like beat the shit out of me or like rock my shit. I forgot what she said. And then yeah. And so then after that, I was sort of just done. And because of the whole situation, I decided that night to not sleep in our room.
Oh, this is when it gets better.
Oh, yeah. And I decided not to sleep in my room, and I decided to sleep in her room on her floor, like I have done in the past, because housing here does not like me. And yeah, this is where it gets like better. I woke up at night and basically went to grab a blanket from the room because I thought she would be asleep because I was really cold because her room's fucking freezing. And when I went out there, I saw my roommate crying, talking to an officer. So because I was like half asleep, I didn't say anything because I was taught not to say anything when someone's talking to an officer. When I came back, I looked at my phone, and my friends who live right next door to her were texting me, asking me like what the hell is wrong with Kimber, and then basically told me to go over to, and basically I went over to their room. They filled me in like a whole situation, saying that she was having like some thoughts that I'm not really gonna mention because I feel like that's not fair to her.
Respectful. Though, like, I think we can get the gist, and I agree. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't.
And basically
throw that out there.
She went, and then afterwards I was done talking to them. I locked myself out of her room, so I sort of like I went down to the lobby and I called like UMPD just like to check up on her to figure out what happened, because you never know, like situations could be swapped and stuff.
Yes.
And they've
gotta check up on her. Nonetheless,
or St. Jose's, I forget what it's called. They told me that's
St. Joseph Hospital.
St. Joseph.
We
That's what I
took you
thought.
there.
Yeah, that's where I went for the ER. And what's it called? Basically, they told me she went there for some mental health issues. She was having some like thoughts and stuff, and I was like, okay, thank you, because then they can't tell me on anymore. And
well, this is where it gets better. I got this shit. She said all this shit, and then it got back turned on to us.
On me, exactly.
And because they didn't talk to me about the situation, because I already ripped them apart once about the whole situation.
Yeah, and so basically she turned everything on me, and I was the only person who was sort of like trying
to... I wanted to show my nails.
I was like the one person who was like clearing up rumors. Like I was going to RAs, I was speaking to people so that there would not be rumors being spread around about her. Because I still cared about her at the end of the day. Like, she was my roommate, I lived with her and stuff. Like, I was trying to be like a nice person and stuff. And basically... yeah, they were saying, she said something about how...
I feel like because this girl was friends with both of them, she was going to be put in the middle no matter what.
We're going to not talk about that. And, sorry, that was my bad. That slipped. But yeah, it pretty much got all flipped on me.
Then, like, basically, so like, Lainey was sleeping on my floor anyways. This whole thing was a f***ing joke, because they told me that she was not gonna come back. The time that she came back, she was supposed to get her shit and leave, because she had no point to be here, because one, she had no classes. She wasn't, well, she did, but she wasn't going. She was literally just being here just to piss everybody off. Yeah. Because she said she wanted to make my life a living hell, which
she threatened that.
She didn't.
And
so I think she took it out on Lainey, destroyed her
almost $1,000 worth of items were destroyed. Actually, I think it was over. She, like, I literally could pull up some stuff right now. Like, she drew on stuffed animals. Like, she also stole stuff, too. And it was just a whole thing. I was crying. Like, she made, like, my grandfather cry because he paid for all this.
Oh, no!
And now, like, everybody on our floor is, like, pissed and stuff like that. And then she slapped a cop. Yeah, we got her. Oh, that's a mugshot.
Shit's embarrassing as f.
I know. And she tried to cry out of it.
Yeah, she tried to cry her ass out of it.
And you can't do that. And now I have.
Yeah, you casually, you can't do that. You cannot slap a police officer across the face.
We tried to do this in one part, I think, and I think we actually are succeeding. There are some things that probably have been said that we probably forgot to like mention, but like. As you get, like, she couldn't go after Izzy because Izzy was protected by, like, the RAs in the school, so she went after someone who actually lived with her.
She said she was gonna do shit to me, I was like, then do it, bitch.
I know, but...
I literally have, like, no filter.
She knew that it would hurt more if it went towards me than to you. So, yeah.
My heart actually goes out to everyone involved in this situation, to be honest, because they're just young. In my 30s, I'm like, man, I don't know these girls. I don't know the full story. I'm not agreeing with the girl who got arrested. Obviously, her actions were very, very wrong, but she's also having some mental health issues. She's very young. We got to work through that. I wish her well. This is just like, this is very young drama. That's what it feels like. to me because I've been in those situations. Oh my God, especially with girls. The drama from our youth, I tell ya, something else. Stay classy out there, stay sassy, and I'll see you tomorrow.